We fight for our ward as
property for Black and brown folks, or just middle class or lower middle class populations, it was extremely hard. And people worked their tails off. Our folks worked their, so if for nothing else, to honor that work from our parents and our grandparents to get the house. I've been speaking about this for about probably 8-9 years now, telling people to get the house, because the reality is we didn't come up with the privilege of inheriting things, right? So I know for me, my family ain't really never owned nothing, so I really never had a conversation about passing things down. But is it extremely important the conversation have to take place? Because why would you want to pay $2,500 for rent when you can be paying a mortgage for $1,900? It just, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And as a homeowner, you have more skin in the game. You have more say. You're a taxpayer. You're a homeowner, right? You're a fixture in this community.
Let me chime in on that real quick. More on the numbers too. My grandfather, most of the people in this room, if you own property in Jersey City, they probably got it for $50,000, $25,000. What are our homes going for right now? $700,000. There's no way you can make that come up investing in anything
nowhere else.
But stick with your family, talk to your family. So that's really what our program is. Come in. You having disputes, you don't know where else to go, come in. We're gonna help you make a better decision. Keep that asset. There's nowhere else you could go from $50,000 to $750,000 in one generation, besides a place like Jersey City. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of people just don't know. I've been seeing people lose houses left and right for next to nothing, $50,000, $75,000. And I'm just like, I'm growing gray hair watching this stuff transpire. I know one young lady I was helping out, and then she just called me like 2 weeks ago and said, Gilmore, we lost the house. I was like, well, why you ain't, when I first came to you and told you that you guys, it was in trouble, it was something with like, because they're notorious for, this is what ultimately what really happens is grandma's house. Grandma passes the house to the kids. That's the first mistake. Grandma, don't pass the house to the kids, pass the house to the responsible kids, right? Because for whatever reason in our community, we think that's grandma's house and there's no expenses associated with that house. So they have these things called liens, and you get liens for not paying your taxes, not paying your water bills, not they even give you liens for if you don't maintenance the property and the city got to come and do it. They put a lien on your property for that. So a lot of that is happening, and because a lot of us are not actually residing at the dwelling, it's like you almost don't care about it. It's not readily available. It's not right in your face. And we're losing a lot of properties towards, because of that. The water lien is like notorious. My family had a water lien on a property, and I was just perplexed as to why would they keep the water on that long after no one had paid for it anyway. Just cut the water off. And God forbid if you have a property and it's abandoned and no one's occupying and you have a water main break. Well, nobody is going to know because no one's in the dwelling. But you're going to be responsible for paying that bill. So that's a lot of what's been going on. So the young lady said they just lost it. They gave her mother, I think, like $30,000 and 15 days to move and put her in a hotel for another 2 weeks. And the stress that the young lady is going to have to go through, she's older in age. That's why it's important for responsible children and grandchildren to embark on that journey. It's well worth it. I assure you that it's going to be well worth it. Like Naima said, nowhere else on earth, I don't know any profession in which you can have that much equity that rapidly. I really don't. And even if you don't have money, the property is an asset. Learn how to utilize the asset. There's something called refinances. There's something called home equity loans. Get with your family members, the ones that want to talk, handle the paperwork, seek to find people who are in the now to help you out and get it done. Because these LLCs, these corporate, I'm telling you, they left and right, and then they're getting it for pennies on a dollar. And that's another thing. And I was telling one of my friends, I said, just pay the lien, whatever it is. I don't even care how much it is. Find a way to pay it. Oh, the house, you should see I don't want to see the house. I don't want to see the inside of the house. I know the value of the land. There's value in the land, the grass, the rocks, the soil, the debris. There's value in that, right? So that is something that's very near and dear to my heart as we try to help as many residents from Jersey City be allowed to stay in Jersey City. Now, if you choose to move or if you choose to sell, all I'm saying is get the fair market value and sell when you want to sell versus being pushed out and having your family wealth extracted. So with that being said, next up we have Mr. Alvin Pettit from the Bethune Center, who's going to come up here and share what they have going on at the Bethune Center.
Pass our flag.
Oh, sure. First, I'd like to thank Councilman Gilmore and Erica for inviting me here to speak tonight, and thank you for all of you that came out. With all the important topics we were talking about, home ownership and public safety is on the list, I have another important topic to discuss tonight, and that's comic books. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why it's important. I mean, I'm partially joking, but I'm also very serious about it, and I'm going to explain to you why. But just to let you know, my name is Alvin Pettit. I'm the director of the Mary McLaughlin Life Center, located in the Greenville section of Jersey City. I've been director there for 10 years, and I'm also a local artist and professional sculptor here in Jersey City. And I want to just give you a brief. If you look at the flyers that were just handed out to you, you'll see the first page is advertising a Black Comic-Con that we have that we're working on, which is being the first of its kind in Jersey City. The Comic-Con period has never been done in Jersey City, but for this one we're doing it in celebration of Juneteenth. And I'm going to get into a little bit of the details of why and why I feel that that's important. But also, if you turn the page behind, you can see some of the other programming that we have going on at Mary McLaughlin Center. For the last 10 years, we've been doing sponsored programming by the city, which is free to the community, and these classes and these programs entail everything from art classes to, we got a lot of activities that seniors like to take, that young people like to take, and fitness and wellness, yoga, you name it, we have it there. And it's all free to the community, so we really encourage people to come out and support it so we can keep the classes going and build it. And we've built up a lot over the years. So basically, just to give a brief, not to go on too long, but the upcoming event that we have, which is for celebration, it's not going to be on Juneteenth, the week after Juneteenth, still in celebration of Juneteenth, is the Black Comic-Con Convention. And I just want to give a little bit as to why that this is important. It may not seem it at first, but it's important to inspire not just young people, but people in mid-career, even people older that may want to do things as hobbies. It's important to inspire people to imagine. And it's important to inspire people to kind of imagine themselves just out of their immediate community, the immediate neighborhood, immediate problems. And what I mean by that is growing up as a child in the 70s and 80s, I would, as an artist, a young artist coming up, I would go to these comic book conventions. They were like little basement events then. It wouldn't be much like they are now, like you see at the Javits Center and San Diego Comic-Con. They're huge, massive draws now. But back then, there were these little things that you'd see in little basements or hotels or something. And it was just always so inspiring for me to learn how to draw from these comics, whether it be X-Men, Batman, Thor, Superman, Avengers, whatever. And it was inspired my artwork and inspired me to become an artist and whatnot. And I feel it's very important to bring certain things into the community that inspires people to want to take on professions that they may feel that has not always been presented to them, and they may not always felt for them. Like I said, growing up in the 70s and 80s, as much as I love comic books and movies and Star Trek and Star Wars, very seldom did I see us represented in these movies. Did I see us represented in these films? Did I see us represented in these books or novels? If you look at certain movies, I mean, there was two black folks in space. There was Lando Calrissian in Star Wars and Lieutenant Uhura in Star Trek. So what we're trying to do here is inspire those that are up and coming creators to bring their voice to pop culture and think beyond just, when we look at most of our movies growing up, even from the 70s to the 90s, they're either about street issues or neighborhood community issues or even love stories or whatever, but it's nothing where we were inspired to dream bigger than that or look at the stars. So that's what we're trying to do here at the Bethune Center for this event. And we want to basically advertise, well, not advertise the word I'm looking for, but also just bring people in to show them how to do it as a profession. We're going to have professional speakers there that are that work in the industry, that are also people of color, so they can tell younger people or aspiring creators on how to get into the fields, whether it's science fiction writing, whether it's film, whether it's illustration, whether it's horror or whatever, genres that we've never really been historically exposed to. We're going to have professional speakers there telling people how to get into these fields, and they can actually see it in real time. So I think it's very important. I think there's a whole lot of room for a lot of creativity with something like this. I mean, when you look at even certain mythologies, like we grew up on things like, I grew up seeing Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings, Knights of the Camelot and stuff. They were all great stories. I love them, but they also were all created by whites and non-African or people of color, and basically based on European mythologies. There's a whole genre of African mythologies that's never been touched on, that have never been explored, and we're encouraging these up-and-coming creators to just tap into a whole other continent that's been ignored for all these years when it comes to science fiction, when it comes to writing and producing movies, and let's bring this to part of the American pop culture. So that's what Comic-Con is about. It's more than, and especially when we talk about what we're doing here at Black Comic-Con, and why I feel it's important to bring something like this to the Jersey City community for the month of Juneteenth. And we hope to get a lot of support. We hope this can grow, even if it's mediocre support at this time. We're sure we'll do it next year and make it even bigger. And the more you do it, and the more we put it out there, and the more that you all can come and help support it, and bring your kids, or we also have prize competitions for costume. I don't know if you've ever been in these things before, but people come, they take it seriously. They come dressed as their favorite superheroes. We're going to be giving away cash prizes for the best costumes coming out, so make it more interactive. So tell your kids, tell your teenagers, tell your parents, tell your grandparents. You know, like I said, it's for everybody. There's no age group on there. But we ask, if you come in, just come prepared to be creative in some sort of way, or prepared to absorb creativity. And that's what we try to do at the Bethune Center. That's been our goal for the last 10 years, not just to be a community center, but also to be a cultural center, to be an interactive center for the community, to be a wellness center for the community, because health is important just as much as art is, just as much as being a community meeting space, and all that. We've come together to try to make us a multi-use center. And basically, that's what I wanted to discuss. If there's any questions, also, Ms. Terry, right? Based on your speech, I would like to talk to you later on, because what you're doing is so important as far as just home ownership. I see, where the Bethune Center sits is historically in Jersey City, Black and brown community, and I see that being lost on a daily, every day. So, the center's open to you if you ever want to bring your message there, because up there we can use it more than any place as well as any other place in Jersey City. So please, let's talk later. Any questions or anything about upcoming Comic-Con or at the Bethune Center, or anything want to discuss about? If not, I will wrap it up and turn the floor back over to Councilman, and hope to see you all on the 29th.
Thank you, Alvin. We appreciate it. So any thing I need to do, reach out to Alvin as it relates to activities at the Bethune Center. I think the Bethune Center is one of our hidden gems, and in my opinion, I think it's underutilized. I think we should be doing more. So make sure you reach out to Alvin if you want to do any type of workshops or things of that nature. Please go, and also please try to come to the events because they do put on a lot of. Alvin, do you guys have a website for?
Well, we're
Do you have a-
currently, since we're all part of Cultural Affairs.
Okay.
Cultural Affairs website.
So-
But the best way to keep up with like current news is to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so yeah, follow them on all social media platforms as it relates to the events that's taking place over there. Next, we will move into everything Ward F promotions with Miss Erica Walker, Chief of Staff. Okay, Erica. That's touchscreen? Oh, that's not ours. I thought we had somebody.
Wish that was ours. We need to invest in them. Greetings. I am Erica Walker, Chief of Staff for Councilman Gilmore. We created everythingswardf.com. This was a brainchild of Councilman Gilmore because he wanted a place where people could come and easily access what's going on in our community and what products and services your city has to offer, what services your tax dollars are already paying for. So for those who are online, you can visit everythingwardf.com and see our homepage where you can click on, these are all live buttons. You can report an issue to Residence Response Center, learn how to find help at findhelp.org, which is home to all the nonprofit organizations and service providers who provide free or low-cost funding. And learn about employment opportunities, housing and rental assistance opportunities, landlord-tenant relations division, city planning and zoning, Board of Education, Jersey City Economic Development, parking enforcement, senior affairs, register your business. We are going to be promoting small businesses, volunteer opportunities, find your block association, because we definitely want you to organize. And the best way to organize is to break things down. Councilman Gilmore always says, what we need is a lot of people doing a little bit, and it'll go a long way. So find your block organization, find out what they're doing. We're encouraging people to have each block association to do at least one community cleanup this summer. So far, we've done 8 community cleanups in Ward F. We've done MLK, we've done Boswick, Bayview, Wilkeson, we've done Randolph and Claremont and Clerk Avenue. So if you have a block association or you have a neighborhood and you just want to clean up your block, contact us. We'll do the flyer for you and promote it for you, and we'll get all of the materials that you need to pick up the litter on your street. I do want to bring your attention to the little staple packet that we gave out today. We just decided to staple it and give it out to you because there's so much good information in here, and we wanted to make sure you see it. These are the type of events that you'll see in our newsletter. We always let you know what's going on throughout the week. So of course the summer is coming up. So we have attention parent and guardians. Here is the free summer meals schedule of locations. And then the second page is the Unity Walk happening this Saturday. They're walking, and then if you don't want to walk or if you can't walk, you can just meet them at Lincoln Park for the finale. And then the Captain's South District meeting is taking place on June 11th. Narcan training is taking place on June 13th. A health and wellness fair taking place on June 14th. Raised bed workshops. If you've ever been interested in growing a garden in your backyard, you could start with just one plant and grow. I ended up starting with 3 plants one summer. I grew peppers, tomatoes, and kale. And I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And I was eating from my garden, and it was beautiful. So imagine if you grew peppers and kale, and your neighbor grew corn, and that neighbor grew onions. And at the end of the season, we can do like they did back in the day and trade our extras and have a whole meal from our community's garden. So please attend the raised bed workshop, learn how to start gardening. It really is simple, especially if you just have a starter plant. You just have to water it. It really is that simple. So that's taking place on June 22nd. We have the African Cultural Arts Juneteenth Family Festival on June 22nd. Opioid Awareness Series brought to you by the Community Treasures and the Recreation Department, Saturday, June 22nd as well. And then the Juneteenth celebration on June 15th. All About Us, sorry, I got one that was out of order. All About Us is on Wednesday, June 19th. So we have several Juneteenth events throughout the city. And then what I'm most proud of is the Black Music Month Networking Mixer. This year, we have done something special. We are nominating persons who are overdue their roses. Persons like members of Kool and the Gang, members of the Manhattans, members of Soul Generation. You guys remember them groups from back in the day? They're from Jersey City, and we want to give them their roses while they're still here. So we'll be honoring them as a part of Black Music Month, along with other musicians from born and raised in Jersey City that a lot of people don't know about. People who have sold platinum selling records, born and raised in Jersey City. So we look forward to that on June 26th. And then ECE, which is Electrical Computer Engineering. There is a free workshop for females. It's a free one-day summer camp for female middle school and high school students. I wanted to highlight this because this can get your child, your niece, your grandchild started on a career path just by understanding what they can do with these types of skills. You have to register by June 15th. The event takes place on July 2nd, but you have to register by June 15th. So please spread the word. It's an awesome event. I just want to make sure you guys know about that. Next up is just two more handouts Zaya's gonna hand out for me. One having to do with fireworks. We've been getting a lot of calls and emails about the fireworks. Not all fireworks are illegal. There are some legal fireworks, but there are some that are illegal. So we have a handout to talk about that. And then we're looking forward to having an event with the fire department to go into detail about these fireworks and what to do if you come across illegal ones. So stay tuned for that information. And last but certainly not least, we have our ongoing caucus meetings. So if you didn't know, every Saturday before the council meeting, so there's about 2 council meetings every month, every other week. And there's a caucus on that Monday before the Wednesday council meeting. So the public is not allowed to talk at the caucus. We can just come and listen. And we can come talk on Wednesday, but by then the council members have already made up their mind. When it's time for public speaking, a lot of people complain because they're just getting like deer in headlight eyes from the council because their opinions can't really be swayed by then. It's too late. The time to really sway their opinion is before the Monday caucus, where they get a chance to ask the department heads all the questions. Like the administrators, like, why are you bringing this ordinance here? Why are you bringing up this resolution? I need more information. You'll hear Councilman Gilmore ask a lot of questions. He's one of the most active, he is the most active council person that I have ever witnessed during a caucus because he reads the agenda, he reviews the agenda in advance. I had an aide, one of the aides actually asked me, oh my goodness, you guys read the whole agenda? And I said, yeah, that's our job. Like, this is the councilman's primary responsibility is to pass laws. So yes, we read the agenda from the rooter to the tutor, and we review it live with you on Saturdays before the Monday caucus, so that we can get your questions and write your questions down, and Councilman Gilmore can get those answers for you in time, so that you can make knowledge decisions and knowledge speeches on Wednesday when you come, and be able to have more empowerment to sway, hopefully, the council people to vote responsibly. So that's our Saturday caucus happens almost every other Saturday. Attached to that, other important meetings that people oftentimes don't know about, it's our land use meetings. This is where they pass zoning ordinances and variances. When you see sky-high buildings going up, and you're wondering, how did they get to build that tall? Well, there was a meeting about it, and it was public. Did you know about it, though? So I want to make sure you all know about these meetings, because when it's in your neighborhood, and they're asking for a variance, and they're asking to go higher than the rest of the neighborhood, they have to get your permission. They have to get the community's permission. And if the community says, no, that's too high, if the community says, okay, well, we'll let you go this high if you build us a community garden or a youth center, we can make those asks. But if we don't show up, they're gonna say, oh, community, We got support from the community. They can lie and say, yep, the whole community wants this, because there's nobody there to tell them differently. So we need to show up. We need to show up and prove that we care about the development of our community and be a part of it, as opposed to being gentrified and being pushed out. So that is it for me. Thank you so much for you. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. Because this is only 11% of people who voted in the last election. It's sad. 11% of the people who are registered to vote voted in this past election. And if you're not participating, then you can't complain. So kudos to you. You have a right to be here, and you have a right to raise your voice and tell people what your concerns are. So with that said, I'll give back to Councilman Gilmore for the last half of the meeting.
Oh, do you have a question? Everythingwardf.com.
Everything Ward F. You have a phone with you now? We can help you in real time. You have a phone with you now? Okay, let me see your phone, young lady.
Phone is no good.
Oh, your phone is no good?
It's not, it's.
Do you have an email address?
It seems to have, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do you one better. We're gonna get you signed up for the website. I brought my tablets today. And these tablets right here is going to register 2,500 new voters in Ward F. That's why we purchased these tablets, because we want to make sure our voices are going to be heard. Yes.
How many high-rise buildings, how many units in there do regular residents actually get? And who can afford to live in?
Good, that's a good question. So, this is something that I've been really studying diligently. And I've come to the conclusion that they've been selling the people fool's gold. And the reason why I say that is because you got to be careful of the terms affordable housing. Because affordable to you, affordable to her is two different things. Yeah, you ain't eligible for nothing. Yeah, so that's why I'm looking to sponsor something where we bring affordable housing office inside. Because what happens is, first, it's a bunch of moving pieces. I'll try to get through this as concisely as possible. When you're talking about affordability, you're talking about different AMIs, i.e. 50, 60, 70, 80, 120. AMI is just abbreviation for area median income, right? Well, that's a whole nother issue right there. So what they do is they'll say, hey, okay, we'll do affordable housing in this new development right here, right? But because they're placed in an area where the AMI is, let's say, 85,000, that affordable unit is not affordable to us, because the average median income where we're making, I think it's 45,000, right? And then another thing is, what we have to figure out a way to control is the affordable housing stock. Because a developer could say, hey, I'll oblige to do 15% affordable, and they'll just have all the people in their network occupy the 15% of the building that's affordable. See, the thing with affordability is, because of the funding for certain projects, you can't say it's from, like, it has to be Jersey City residents. But you can strategically implement things that give Jersey City residents an advantage, or updated notice, or a before notice, if you will. So that's something that we've been working on in my office, trying to figure out a way where we can bring affordable housing unit inside. So if you say, all right, we have this new building, we have 100 units, it's 20% affordable. All right, we're responsible for making sure we give you a list of applicants we want you to choose to occupy the 20%, right? And I've been in communication with developers, and like, for me, starters is 20%. can you do at least 20% affordable? That's just for starters. And their first thing is always, Councilman, no one have ever requested that. Well, this is a new Ward F here. And we have to make sure we're taking care of the people that's been here, and we're cognizant that we don't want them pushed out. Now, it's a challenge because developers, for the most part, they're into bottom line accounting. How much money can they make per square foot? That's the bottom line. That's what they're in it for. They're not in it for creating housing, creating affordable housing, because they're egalitarian or because they are humanitarian. They want to make money, right? So we just have to have good negotiating tactics and conversations where we have a project come to fruition where it's multi-beneficial. It's beneficial from a municipal perspective because we'll begin to collect more tax revenue. It's beneficial to the developer because they'll get more units, and it's benefit to the community because they'll be able to have housing at an affordable rate. So that's a extremely diverse and moving conversation. Yes, young lady.
I have so many people asking me about affordable housing. Where all these buildings that's going up, where they getting these people from? Because half the people don't even know where to go to sign up for the house.
Yeah, that speaks to the point why we need to have that affordable housing unit in-house, right? Because if I'm a developer and I go to Teaneck, New Jersey, and put up a building with 20% affordable, odds are the 20% people are going to be from Jersey City, the people I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Some people, like you said, they don't even know how to get in contact with some of these buildings. And then they put the sign up. By the time they put the sign up, the applications, the apartment's already full. They're already spoken for. So that's why we need to create, and that's what I like about no affordable housing program so much, is that the city controls the affordable units. The city tells the developer, hey, you can choose who you want, so as long as though they're from this pile of applications. Right? And that way we ensure that local residents stay local. Unless and until we create something like this, the affordable housing conversation is very primitive at the best. You know? So with that being said, we normally have individuals from the police department to talk about quality of life and policing issues. They weren't able to come today. So if anyone have any public safety questions, comments, concerns, we can address that. I will try to get an answer back to you if I can't answer it now by reaching out to either one of the police captains. Okay, seeing none. So now at this point, before we close, if you guys would like to make any public comments, any statements, or if you have any other additional questions before we conclude. Is there people online? There's no one online. There's two people online. Oh, that's us, user in our office. Okay, that's us. That's us. No, I know, I get it. It's nice outside, y'all. It is really nice outside. It's the summer. People are trying to get themselves together. So I get it, I understand. But we have a job to do in Ward F at the council office. So I have to make sure that we're accessible and available and we're disseminating this information. So at this point, do anyone from the public have any other questions, comments, and or concerns as it relates to anything that's going on in the ward? Yes, young lady.
I'd like to say something. I just basically wanted to say thank you for having me and thank you for having this tonight. I'm actually kind of new to Jersey City. I moved here 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I love what you're doing with the Don't Sell Grandma's House. I am a real estate agent here in Jersey City. And I must say, my family, we were able to purchase a home and actually start a family. And we were afforded to do that because the prices were, affordable.
Yeah.
I'm looking around now, just 4 years later, and I'm seeing the residents aren't able to do that. And so I came here tonight because I wanted to see, what are you guys thinking about that? Like, how do you feel about that? And I got to see and hear a lot from you. So I'm definitely glad to see that we're having these conversations because they're very important. Homeownership
Yes.
is very important. Do not sell your grandmother's house to an LLC.
Yes,
If you could add that piece.
yes, yes, yes.
I actually have a number of buyers and a number of renters that want to buy a home and they can't because it's so expensive. And I would say, you know, with the program that you have, I love that. Utilize these resources definitely. But if you feel like you do need to sell, please sell it to someone who has a dream of being a homeowner. And sell it to somebody that's just gonna tear it down and sell it for $1 million. Because what's happening is, on my block, I live on Wilkinson, there's a couple of houses that are being built and they are gonna be.
Oh, you between Ocean and MLK?
Yes.
Oh, you moved on Wilkinson?
Yes.
And you say you're a realtor?
Yes.
And you moved 4 years ago?
Listen.
You need to give God the glory, young lady. We gonna give.
Let me just tell you, I'm a little nervous, but I was gonna start this by saying God is good.
Yeah, all the time.
I found you, actually last night, I found you on Instagram and saw that this meeting was tonight, and I definitely wanted to come and see what everybody was saying, but you're absolutely right. We live on Wilkinson, and I've heard from people who have lived there for 20, 30 years, and I've heard from people who just moved there, and the differences that are happening right now on Wilkinson. There's houses that are being built, and they're gonna be going for $1 million.
Yes.
We bought our house for half of that. I'm talking with women in, hi. I'm talking with people who want to buy a house and they're in tears because they don't think they're going to be able to do that. And I would love that. Homeownership is so important to me that I would love that opportunity for people. I do work with lenders that have the down payment assistance programs. But if they can't afford the payments, what can we do, right? So I love that there is a fight for this. I also love that we're gonna be able to change and make, you know, basements and things like that another dwelling, because that is gonna add equity in the home. I do have flyers back here and I have business cards as well, so I don't wanna take up too much more of your time. But if you are in a situation where you're getting notices of default, you can give me a call, you can utilize the resources of Do Not Sell Your Grandma's House, because there are other options for you to keep that home, to keep it in-house, or in your family. Or if you do need to sell, we can sell it at fair market value.
Yes.
That way you can get the money that you deserve. You can also pull out a home equity line,
Yes.
credit, and you can build this other dwelling so you can create more equity in your home. Or you can buy something else. There are options out there to keep financial stability in your family. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. And y'all, just think this is how valuable land is in Jersey City in a nutshell. Wilkinson and Myrtle. On Myrtle, there's a house right now going for $1.37 million. On Myrtle Avenue between Bergen and MLK. 1.37.
No other city like it.
In the world. That is, man, they got $1 million homes on Wilkinson Avenue. Well, Randolph, I can see. Randolph is like, Randolph, Arlington.
Clerk.
Oh, yes, Grant. Something just sold for $99999 on Grant. I keep telling everybody in Jersey City, if you ain't leave by now, don't leave.
Right.
You've missed the train when it was time. You've missed that train. Yeah, they selling it for 1.35. I looked it up. I thought it was a typo. I kept refreshing the phone, hoping the number would change. It stayed the same. So yeah. So again, thank everyone for coming out. Thank the office, my staff. You guys do a great job. My intern is in the back, Zaire. Thank you so much, Erica. Thank you so much, Lanisha. She's not here right now, but thank you guys so much for being very responsive as an office. And as always, everyone, be great on purpose.